What's going on, Mosh Pit Crew? Welcome to Geeking Out with the Metal Geek. I'm your host, the Metal Geek, and I have one thing to say. Welcome to the Geek Pit. Right now, before I get started, I just want to say rest in peace to the Iron Sheik. Man, this is a sad moment today in wrestling history. He was one of the greatest of all time. And can we please have a moment of silence for the Iron Sheik? Thank you. Now, without further ado, I'm so honored to have these guys on my podcast again. Let's give a warm Geeking Out welcome to the founders of Win, the SATs.
Yo, what's up, man?
What's going on?
What's going on, Metal Geek? Salute.
What's going on? Welcome back,
What's
guys.
up, boys? What's going on, Skills? What's up, Jose?
Going on,
What's
Joel?
good,
bro?
Jose? What it do?
Yeah.
Come on.
And you guys didn't come alone, obviously, right?
No.
We're never alone.
No. We have
From the
we have
big
the
boss.
boss. The big boss is with us today. Let's give a Geeking Out welcome to the boss, Paul Loria.
Ah,
Yes, sir.
yeah, what up, Paul?
What
up,
going
gang?
on?
Guy.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
We missing
So-
Will, like always.
He's coming right now. He just hit me up 5 minutes. He's late. He's actually good excuse. His son's in wrestling, so he's
Nice.
out of practice right now.
All right.
Good.
He's
That's
like
awesome.
so.
Yeah.
All right, if it's for
Future
wrestling,
Maximo.
if it's for wrestling, it's okay.
Anything
Facts.
wrestling.
You just can't be late on the 16th. You better be there on time.
That's it. Be there in time. Everybody says say hello to all the Jose Maximo followers.
What's going on?
We
What's
live.
up?
SAT, baby.
Listen,
Followers.
log into the Metal Geek Live. We live right now.
That's
Go
right.
live while we go
Let me
live.
go.
Let's go.
Let me go.
Yo, listen,
share it.
we're gonna get Metal Geek versus Joe. We have to do that match. They
Oh
don't
my
they don't
God.
physically have to wrestle. What we do, Paul. You gotta
Joe,
talk to,
where-
you gotta
where
talk to
is
Booker
Joe?
Man, right?
Where's Joe right now? Where is he?
Joe will choose an opponent, and then
What's up,
Metal
guys?
Geek will choose a wrestler, and then
Yeah,
boom,
we're actually
put those guys to wrestle for them.
Geek, you going in the corner or what?
It's
I
okay.
guess so.
It's okay.
You're making
Would
him
you guys
nervous
train
now.
me? You guys are gonna train me, right? Take bumps.
Let's go. Yeah, we'll trade you.
Let's go. All right. But anyway, I asked the guys earlier. I'm gonna ask Paul now. How did Win get started exactly? And the
That is
idea
a
behind
loaded
the
question.
story.
This is Win is nothing. It doesn't surprise me at all. It's a product of the Maximos. It is a vision. It's their approach. And I've said this before. It is the reason why I came back to this business after 25 years. It is what they did when they were kids, when they first broke in at 17 years old, was they saw tag team wrestling in their own vision, and they were unapologetic about how passionate they were, and they were going to do things their way. They had the vision, and they literally changed the trajectory of tag team wrestling. And in 2020, it was actually before the pandemic, Joel and I had spoken, and the pandemic had hit, and everything kind of went on hold in the world. And then in the end of 2022, it was just he was on Facebook Live, and I sent him a message real quick, and he just said, "I need to speak to you later today." And he said, "Here's what we're doing with Win." And immediately, it was the exact same feeling I had about watching these 17-year-old kids approach tag team wrestling. I knew they were going to be outside the box. I knew they were going to swing for the fences. And that's the way I always booked. Not everything is going to be a home run, but we sure as hell are going to try for it. We are not complacent. We don't accept average. And everything we do has our own spin on it. And so it was really a perfect marriage. And I think that's why Win is so special. So it was a no-brainer for me to get on board.
And outside, what's crazy is for 23 years that me and my brother have been doing our stuff outside of HWA when we first started with Poloria. We've been in the locker rooms. I know a lot of promoters that were referees or behind the stage or trying to be wrestlers, and now they're promoters. And me and my brother have seen from booking in Mexico to Japan to the WWE to TNA to you name it, we've been there. So We seen what it takes to run a company, a brand, and never got touched. I never got as close of how we felt when we were at HWA in the hands of Paul Loria. So when we got in touch at the end of 2022, it was like perfect. It's just like he's the guy that's gonna help us do this. And it was we made, before I called him, I called Jose. I was like, how do I approach this shit? How do we suck him back in? and
Yo,
it just worked
there he
out, bro.
is.
Hey, Will.
What's up, boys? What up, fellas?
What's going on,
Can you
Will?
hear me?
Yeah,
We
we
hear
get
you.
it.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
What's up,
Yeah,
Brian?
bro.
What's
I
up,
remember
What's up, Willie?
Joel telling me about Paul again. I was like, well, we seen Paul a few times way before that. Like we saw him before the pandemic, like Paul said. And when Joel was like, listen, this is what we need for it to be that if factor. And I was like, done. Oh, you get Paul Loria, I told him. That man is a mad scientist, and I always say that in professional wrestling. That man's mind. Whose mic is on?
Will.
What's in the airplane?
I hear an
Mute
airplane.
it.
You gotta pause it.
Mute your airplane.
Mute that shit.
Yeah.
Somebody else
So I
will
said-
mute button.
Paul Loria is a mad scientist when it comes to professional wrestling. Just like he describes us, and we appreciate it. We love that he says that about us. We say that about him. No one books shows like Paul Loria. We were in his locker rooms, and we never knew what was going on. We were always surprised, and he always let the boys. That's the difference. He makes sure the boys pop too. Like, holy shit, that just happened. And that's the difference between his booking and any other promoter's bookings, because he keeps everything tight to the chest. And now that we're behind the curtain with him on this part, it's a lot more exciting. Like, holy shit, I can't believe he's doing this. I can't believe he's booking this way.
And Geek, to be completely honest, it literally happened today. Joel we're all in a group text together, and Joel had sent me a text saying, hey, can you send me the card for the 16th? And I was like, no, I don't want to send it to you. I don't want anybody to know. But the fact of the matter is, though, like, I send it to them, and we're a team in this whole thing. But yeah, it's I think Jose said it best. I think it's that combination of not being complacent and seeing what is out there. And listen, we said we're not holding anything back. These guys know, and I'll say it live out loud. I mean, it was August of 2022, and I was offered the potential to become a partner over at NYWC. And I just knew for a fact, as much love as everybody has and as much history as everybody has, that was never going to be a good fit for me. You know, I didn't feel like that would be where I would be the most creative. And I kind of knew that immediately. And on the flip side of that, when Joel reached out and said, hey, what about Win? I knew immediately that it was a yes. So it's due to the team that you're seeing in front of you that this whole thing will work.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
So-
If you didn't get tickets for Sunset Flip, get them now. You're gonna miss out. It's gonna be crazy.
Joel actually told me about Paul coming in, and I actually thought he was just pulling my leg. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
couldn't believe it. He's telling me this, and I'm like, to actually happen. You know, I couldn't believe it.
It's awesome, man.
Man, it's just so surreal. And you guys invited me to be a part of this, and I'm just so thankful for you guys as well.
Oh,
to
we
be a part of this ride
thankful
with
for
guys.
you, man, and your work and everything you guys are doing, bro.
100%.
Yeah, let's take over this shit already. Northeast needs something exciting. You know what I mean? The Northeast has seen every fucking dream match you could think of. You got this guy versus this guy. You've seen it all. And that's all people book right now. It's just cards full of dream matches. Oh, how about this guy versus this guy? It's like wanting to see Bruce Lee versus Bruce Lee at all times. You know what I mean? What we do is more captivating. It's a little more touching the heart on people.
It's long term.
Yeah.
It's long term storytelling, and every piece of the puzzle is gonna fit at the end, and you're gonna see it all fit and come together, show after show after show. So we, encourage everyone not to miss shows. Not just saying it as a salesman, as a promoter. I'm telling you, if you really want to be part of this ride, because that's what it is, it's gonna be an incredible ride. And people look back sometimes at the ECW or, you know, even HWA. And now it's like legend. Like, oh man, I wish I would have seen those shows. I wish I would have been part of those independent shows. Well, maybe because we used to turn 500 people away every show because they were so committed and so invested into the company that they had their own fan base showing up every single month, wanting to know what's going to happen next because some shit just went down last month and some shit's going to go down today and some shit's going to go down 3 months from now or 2 months from now or a month from now, 2 weeks, whatever it was at the time. And that's what made it special because every time we walked into the locker room, something happened. I was like, holy shit. Did you just see that? Joel was like, yeah, that was super crazy. He just passed by us. And then all of a sudden, Paul Loria pulls us to the side and goes, by the way, you're running in on super crazy. I was like, what? This is the type of shit that's happening on the fly. Every time you have to be on your toes, and that's what made it special. And that's why I think Win is special because it's on the same trajectory. I believe that Win is going to be the future of professional wrestling, and this team right here is going to be the future of professional wrestling. Look out!
Yeah, and Geek to his point. That's what we're talking about. Like you know this now. Like you were brand new. You met over like 2 summers ago, and you explained you were a podcaster and just a fan of wrestling and. Right away, as soon as Win took off, we started to integrate you and podcasters, and we wanted to tell stories in between the shows as well. And even you, like I probably text you and annoy the crap out of you because you'll send me something like, change this, change that, let's do this. I'm sending you names. I'm like, can you book these guys? And you're like, dude, what are you doing to me? But this is what Jose means. This is how stories, that ride we're talking about, that ride doesn't start at bell time and end at the end of the match. That ride will continue in between the shows, on your podcast, at the next show. Who knows where it's going to go? Maybe it's going to go to somebody else's show. I don't know. But the point is, it is going to be one hell of a ride, and you are looking at the future of wrestling.
Yeah. So what is the biggest difference for you guys between wrestling and actually producing a show or a match?
Producing to me it feels good because I'm in that stage. I keep telling my brothers where I just feel like, I want to get back. I want to be able to create something where I'm proud of what me and my brothers have done collectively. Like what I started doing with Jose and what I ended up doing with Will, and with Skills coming along, the whole entire thing. It's just been. I never had so much fun with in pro wrestling itself. With having my family with me. And on creating a brand is way different than what we're doing in the indies. Like right now in the indies, we're just showing out. We basically going to shows and like we're gonna tear the fucking house up, and we've been doing it. That's all we've been doing. So, but when it comes down to the brand, to what Win is, and how hard the guys are working, how hard Paul is working, is special. Is way better than going out there and wrestling for anybody else. It's just we created something very special. I felt like this when we created Spanish Fly and all the crazy moves that you see on wrestling and all over TV with what we're going to do here. Because now we're actually doing it for something that matters. You know what I mean? So.
And the bigger difference is what's crazy is that we have Instagram and Twitter and Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
It was flyers and footwork. And now you can reach fan base around the whole planet at the click of a button. It's insane. The fact that people can actually keep up and keep on going this ride with us through that, and we can use social media for that. That's what's crazy. And that's why I think it's going to be the greatest thing in professional wrestling, because just imagine if HWA had Facebook or Twitter or Instagram. Are you kidding me, bro?
Or YouTube.
Or YouTube. Like, this is what I'm saying. The platform is 100 times bigger. And now we have that same mindset, the same booker, our brother, Paul Loria. The first guy, listen, he's the first guy who gave us a real shot. Our first shot. He's the guy who created the Spanish announce team gimmick, bro. Like this.
Yeah, that's crazy.
He's a mad scientist. There's something wrong with him in a good way.
And that's the most over.
He
that's
really
the
is
most
a
over
genius,
thing right now.
Bro, I'm telling you, bro. I'm not trying to sell it because he's here. I say it when he's not around too.
No, he says this to me when it's just the two of us on the phone. It is mind blowing.
This is what he does, and he's humble about it. He's like, oh yeah. but that's what he does. He
Me too, we
doesn't.
get
I
him
don't even
pissed
think he
off.
realizes how he operates. This is what he does. This is what he does. This is him thinking all day long. You got to keep up if you want to be around Paul. You have to keep up because you might miss something. Okay, all right, got it. All right, good. He said it. Make sure you remember.
I was telling my brother the other day. I was like, bro, every freaking idea I'm having, I throw it at Paul, and he has like 2 different ideas that are better. It's getting me
Layers.
pissed off. every
Yeah,
time
he's good.
I'm like, Paul.
No,
what
I
do you
love
think?
it.
He's like,
It
how about
Yeah,
this?
yeah, I love that
Okay,
too.
you're right. It makes sense. It's so good.
Jose and Joel just promoted. They dropped a trailer the other day about how they're going to go check out different foods and talk wrestling. And you know what we do here is kind of the same thing. It's like food. We all throw in different ingredients. We're making something new. Sometimes it's a dish that everybody understands and has had before. And sometimes it's something no one's ever tried. And they're like, wait, what is this? And we're like, we're not even sure because we kind of made it up on the fly ourselves. But the bottom line is we're all on that same page that we trust each other's strong points and we know what everybody is good at. And it's a process. And we're learning as we go. But at the end of the day, it's because we all want the same thing. You know, it's
Really sure.
it's about the locker room. It's about creating an environment that we're changing indie wrestling in the sense of your standard indie wrestler is just an independent guy who's out there trying to get work. I got a match Friday. I got a match Saturday. I got a match Sunday. Let me go show up. Let me do my match. Let me get paid. Let me go home, rinse, repeat. Not with us, though. We're creating an environment that makes them feel like they're part of our company. They want to be involved in our company. They look forward to it. These guys are reaching out to us constantly, interested, wanting to be part of it. And as that momentum builds, it's really interesting because I'm not going to drop any names just yet, but the amount of names that have reached out that are now trying to get into Win, this is going to get really exciting because now we get to really start playing with the pieces.
Yeah.
I love
Excited
that.
about that, man. You know.
Go ahead. What's your questions? Let's go.
No, I was. This is. But you mentioned about the
We'll
Spanish
take over.
Fly
You'll never say the questions if you let us. We'll take over your whole
We'll
show.
just keep talking through your whole show, Geek.
Yeah,
We
no,
have a
it's
bad
all right.
tendency.
Yeah, it's all right. But so you mentioned the Spanish Fly, right? And
Yeah.
so recently you guys came up with a brand new move. Now, what's the story?
It's not
behind this
brand new. I don't know if you've seen the trailer. I put it out. So that move was created in 2002 by Madman Joel.
Right.
The Spanish Fly Bomb.
It's no Spanish Bomb.
The Spanish Bomb. The Spanish.
Yeah.
Bomb.
So everything's in Spanish. So yeah, we actually did that move on. I have a clip. I think on All Money Is Legal.
Yeah.
That's back in NWA cyberspace. We did it in Japan a few times. We just never really pulled it off. Here's the real truth, though, right? I think they really are too scared to steal it. It's a terrifying maneuver. I'm just being honest. Listen, because they stole everything else, right? And that's okay, because that's the give back to wrestling. We know this. This is part of the gig. But that move particularly, I was like, Joel, they haven't stole it yet. They haven't even attempted to try it. Let's just do it. Let's give it.
Gringo asked. He almost did it.
He
asking
couldn't.
for
Yeah,
the
he was
guy
like,
got
yeah, I
scared,
felt like I was
yeah.
gonna die. This is the thing. So I told Joel, let's pull it off that same day in Brooklyn. I said, we're in Brooklyn. We got to do it. And he was like, yeah. I was like, yeah, let's just do it. Let's show these kids what we're doing out here in the streets. Let's reinvent the wheel again. Let's let them think, holy shit, they did it again. It seems like a new move, but it's not. We've done it dozens of times. It's just we just prefer to do Spanish Fly. But now we're just gonna keep doing that.
You know what I want to know, though? I want to know that these young kids, right? Like, let's take Marcus Mathers, for instance, right? He sees you guys in the locker room, and he's in awe, and he's all excited. He's going to work with SAT. And I want to know the ratio of them thinking to themselves, I want to take this move, but I'm also terrified. And that gamble that they're taking, do they say they want to or they know? Because if it were me, I'd be like, yeah, my partner's going to take the move, but I'm going to be in the match. It's going to be awesome.
Let me tell you.
The reality of it is it's these kids are part of history when they're doing this stuff because I was there I remember hearing the bump after bump after bump, and these guys running. I've told this story 100 times. These guys running into the office of the HWA, and they were telling me, "Oh, Paul, we got to show you this new move." And I'm like, "No, I just want to see it live on the show," because they were always coming up with some sort of ridiculous insanity. And honestly, I just thought somebody was going to die and I was going to be sued. So I just rather not know. And I would sit right at the monitor in our locker room and in our gorilla position of HWA. And I remember watching them climb the ropes, and I'm thinking, what exactly are they doing here? And it was the first time I ever saw Spanish Fly, and I just lost it. I couldn't believe the stuff they were pulling out. And you know, that's what I wonder. Like, these kids now, they see these things. It's got to be terrifying for them to think they're going to take Spanish Bomb, but how do you not? It's like the craziest ride at the amusement park. It's like, I'm terrified to do it, but I'm going to regret it if I'm not the one that got to do it. And they become part of history when they do it.
So with wrestling tag teams that young, they usually start fighting to see who's taking the move, right, Jose? They're like,
yeah.
Oh, I'm taking it. So it's cool, man.
They're good, bro. Those boys are good, and they both, Paul, they were like, yeah, I'll take it, no problem. I was like, holy shit. In my mind, I was like, cool. Meanwhile, he asked me to do an open over, and I was like, yeah, I don't do those anymore on my knees.
You know, speaking of young teams, though, that is something on the 16th that, you know, can't be overlooked. I don't know if people have the full concept of what's really going to happen in the trios match between Johnny Kashmere and the new Backseats and the SAT, because it's not just Johnny Kashmere, you know, and this new rivalry with SAT. It's Will Maximo has, if I'm not mistaken, you've never been in the ring with Johnny Kashmere, have you?
No.
And SAT haven't been in matches with the Gracies, have you?
No.
So we have 15 to 20 years of history about to collide in a match that has never happened in some aspects.
Yeah.
I mean, there is no other version of the past, present, and possibly future of this company all put into one match right there.
Yeah.
That's just crazy. And you know what? These are the matches that, like, I look back. Yeah, there they are.
There you go.
Yeah,
right there.
I look back on a lot of our matches, especially with tag teams and trios, and you never know when it's going to be one of those hits. I feel like this is going to be one of those hits.
Yeah.
One of these classic matches, I'm telling you. One of these matches that people look back on and be like, yo, I remember the Sunset Flip with the new Backseats versus the SAT. The shit they did, we still haven't seen now.
And correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think Johnny has wrestled in a while either.
Well, Johnny's on his way back. He started wrestling about last month, and he looks phenomenal, and he's in great shape, and he's getting back in ring shape. Yeah. And he is definitely going to be game ready on Friday, June 16th. But
he told me he's like straight up he's coming for Will. He was like, he was like, once that bell ring, it's me and your younger brother. I was like, yo, all due respect, go ahead. you try that little monster. Go ahead.
Take your best
shot. Good. There's nothing about Johnny that I don't know. I've seen every single one of his matches in history. I doubt he sat back and said, let me watch his new brother come in after Jose took off for a little while and studied all my shit. So it's going to be fun.
Yeah.
Can't wait for the match.
See that? See how the coin flipped there? Wilson's a Wilson's a student of the art, as they say.
Especially tag team wrestling. You're talking about like back in the days, Unplugged, their promotion, and everything else that they used to do. I was always watching them. When it comes down to SAT and Backseats, like all the matches were watched by Will and studied and watched over. And I was there as a 13, 12-year-old, maybe, marking out, watching all these matches. And it's going to be a pleasure to get in the ring with him, man. I'm excited. I really am.
Hell yeah.
But, yeah, man. I want to see if he can keep up.
Now, listen, if I was a betting man, I would be betting on the fact that Tommy and JP feel the exact same way about Joel and Jose. They studied these guys growing up. This is who they want to be in there with. So while Will has that advantage, he knows everything about Johnny Cashmere. Tommy and JP, they've watched everything SAT has
There you
thrown
go.
out there,
Holy
unless
shit,
of course there's something new coming on the 16th that we don't know about yet.
Hell yeah, there's always something new.
We always try to switch it up.
Facts.
We never throw the same combinations, Paul. And you know this to
New
be
world.
firsthand.
Yeah, you
New
go-
World Wrestling and Old World Wrestling collide.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you watch our matches, you never see the same thing ever.
Yeah, that was a big problem.
so
We never
cool.
had a signature maneuver set because we always did something new. You know?
Yeah.
Talk to us,
Who-
Geek.
who's
We're
so
gonna take
who's gonna
over.
be- yeah, who's gonna be the first one that steals that Spanish bomb move from you guys?
Sammy Guevara.
Probably.
Sammy Guevara,
Yeah, that's my little sperm boy there.
Because you know
Yeah, he does
that
everything.
because you know that
Yeah.
the SAP, they're not going to be able to pull that off anyway. So Sammy
No.
Guevara
Yeah.
can figure out a way to do it as a singles maneuver.
Jesus, those guys can't
Yeah,
do
I
that.
don't know if it'll look the same on that particular
would.
move. It'll just look silly.
But you know he'll try it because it is evident the amount of influence that is in this generation. And then listen, that's why I consider myself blessed, because what a lot of people don't understand when these guys talk about HWA is you don't realize that, and Geek, you'll get this because you're from here. You don't realize that the entire Northeast was spawned from there. The NYWC doesn't exist without HWA. You know, Shane was my first student. The SAT were students of the game with Win. Amazing Red, Brian Excel with House of Glory. And then what else do we have? You have Creator Pro with Brian Myers, which was trained through NYWC and Mikey Whipwreck from the HWA. So what was so cool about coming up in that time was this was before anybody ever saw this stuff. Like I watch these matches on our shows and I see the SAT's influence all over. TV, I see it at every indie show. I see it at Win shows. But in HWA, that was all new. No one ever did something like that. So that, to me, was something that they
was born
introduced
there.
to the world. Like, it was introduced to the world in 1998, 25 years ago. So that's what I can't wait to see, is that we have a locker room full of young talent that want to have the same impact on wrestling. They want to go out and introduce themselves and their moves to the world now that has never been done before.
This is what I'm saying. To add to that, and Paul has a great point. It was just introduced to the world right then and there.
Mhm.
And then I go back to imagine if we had Instagram. Imagine if we have Facebook. We have that now. And what we're creating now, it's never going to be HWA. I'm telling you now, right? But it's its own thing. And it's going to be just as legendary. You know what I'm saying? Because it stems from that root. It stems from HWA. It all goes back to that. And that's what's crazy. And it's fascinating at the same time. And we see these guys, these hungry tag teams in the new back season. And you see, you know, the OGs like Papa Don in the locker room and Chris Cage. And now you see the new up-and-coming stars like Hamlet and PJ Savage and Joey Conway. I get excited for these guys because guess what? What's crazy is that Paul says about our influence in wrestling, and amen, man, we're happy about that. But these guys are wooing us, and we're handpicking these guys like he's freaking awesome. He's freaking awesome. This is between the team right here. We're all passing by each other before anybody's even booked on the show. You know, Paul tells Joel tells Skills tells me, oh, I tell Paul, and Joel tells whatever. We're all telling each other something. Hey, what do you think about this guy? This guy, this. And then we all collectively come up with if they're good, or if we see something special in them or not. And that's what's crazy, because if we do have anything influence or any influence, here we go. I'm going to sell again. If we have any influence in wrestling or made any influence in your life, if you're watching right now, don't miss this show, because it's going to be one of these shows, one of these places that you're going to be like, damn, I should have been there. Like in the first ever Ring of Honor show, I should have went. Or the first ever, you know, SAT versus Guerrero and Red, I should have been there. Classic matches. Even us in CZW, when we wrestled the 6-man, classic match. Oh, man, I wish I was there. Don't wish. You could be here. You could be there. You could be there and be part of something special, something incredible, something that's gonna, fly on its own. I'm telling you, wrestling is now its next level. We're not thinking the same way. We're doing things differently. We're doing things our way. And I think our way, the proof is in the pudding, Paul, like you said. It's influence, and we're gonna be able to re-influence and restructure this wrestling promotion,
little by little.
This wrestling business, period. Because that's what we do, man. We have creative craziness, man. I remember a professional wrestler from ECW coming up to me, Joel, and Red. Will was way too young back then. This is 20-something years ago. His name went by the Prodigy. Remember Prodigy?
Mm-hmm.
Marquez. What was his name?
Tom Marquez.
Tom Marquez.
Tom Marquez.
Tom was like, don't even try. We're like, what? He was like, don't even bother, guys. You're too small. The same thing they told Paul Loria. You're too small. No one's ever gonna pay a ticket to watch you guys.
You don't dress professionally.
You're
we
not,
have the jumpsuits.
Yeah, you don't look like wrestlers. You know what I mean? Like
Tom Marquez?
Yeah,
Tom Marquez. And he's like, you don't look like wrestlers. You don't look like you have the it factor. And no one's gonna be interested in what you have to offer. Okay. 5 years after that, Tom Marquez came up to us and said, I apologize for ever saying anything to you.
Yeah.
Loser.
No, he's not a loser. He's not a loser. See, sometimes people miss it. They have no idea what they're looking at. Greatness, sometimes greatness, and I'm not saying we're great. I'm not trying to, but I'm saying sometimes you miss it.
We are.
No, you are great.
We changed things in wrestling because, like Paul said, we didn't care what anybody said to us. We didn't care how it looked. We wanted to do it our way because we wanted to do it different. We wanted to stand out from the pack, and we did. And to this day, exactly what Paul said, our influence is all over wrestling. We made a dent in wrestling that when we're gone in 100 years, Spanish Fly will still be used. They're probably going to do it off a ship or a building, but that's what's going to happen.
Oh
and that's what I think Win is going to do. Win is going to change the trajectory of everything you think wrestling is, because wrestling is now.
Yeah, we used to get a lot of that in TNA in the locker room. I remember when they brought us in the first time, and we took a Greyhound bus all the way to Tennessee from New York, just to get on the show.
With the Briscoes.
Yeah, with the Briscoes. And we all got on the show, and me, my brother, and Red wrestled the Flying Elvises. And we tore it up, and we got to the back. I don't know who was back there. It was one of the main riders. I think his name was Bob Ryder. He's rest in peace. He was like, what he said to me, he's like, everything you do is like, I can't keep my eyes off of it, but it looks kind of sloppy, but it's kind of like real. And then I said, I meant to do it like that. And my brother started laughing because he always told me that. He was like, when you throw kicks, it's just like you just don't care. And I'm like, I mean to look raw. I mean to change things up. I don't want to look clean cut. It's not my style. It's not what I wanted to do. So sticking to the guns, like Paul said, and not carrying at times. We got in trouble a lot for not carrying because we wanted to do what we wanted to do. Really helped us shape the pro wrestling business, because everywhere I go, every tag team out here right now has done something SAT.
Did you see that comment or just now? You are great. I told Homicide the same thing I'm about to tell you. I'm tired of my kings being humble. I know we have to be, but SAT are fucking beyond great.
I love that
kings out here.
Thank you, PJ.
Nah, man,
PJ is awesome.
That's a future legend right there, bro.
What up?
Listen, I'll say it out loud. I've said it to PJ's face. I've said it to the entire team, and I will say it live on your podcast that as much as I love booking, all I can do is give people an opportunity. I can give them a stage to perform on, and it's sink or swim. But I truly, truly, absolutely, with all my heart, believe that PJ Savage could definitely be the face of this company.
Yeah,
Definitely.
I do too.
So
I don't know that there's a more believable talent, not only in Win, but on the scene today. When that guy speaks, I believe every single thing he's saying.
Yeah, he's rare. He's rare, man.
And that's what's crazy. He's scary.
But
yeah,
it's so believable, bro. Because
it goes back to what Jose says, though. It's the eye that we have, Paul, and handpicking the talent that we want to perform in our company.
Yep.
Because it's legit. If you're in our company, we really believe you're special. That's the honest truth. For those who we got on hold right now, because Paul got a whole lot of wrestlers on hold, It's not because we don't want to use you. It's because we overstacked. We really overstacked right now.
Have you ever read?
I'm
real
sorry.
quick, it's like reading a book. That's my boy PJ, bro. He's a real beast. I'm serious. In and out of the ring.
He's awesome.
So it's like reading a book. You never. We're filming a movie, so we kind of have to try to fit the book in smaller scale because we have certain amount of time. So don't worry, guys. We'll get through the whole book, though. We're just going chapter by chapter by chapter, and everyone will be used correctly. Everyone will shine in their own. And like Paul said, though, sink or swim. And these are the guys that are standing out. What's crazy is that we don't have a problem. Most companies have a problem in getting their guy to be the heavyweight champion or the face of the company. We have a good problem. We have so many guys that are potentially the face of the company. We have faces of the company. It's insane. Just the world championship, just the singles guys going for the title this Friday. It's crazy how many guys are so talented and ready to go.
That's gonna be fucking.
Yo, that's
wild,
insanity,
bro.
right? Just thinking about it.
And truth be told, the reason why that match was created, for 10 men was to give that much talent, that ability, and that showcase to perform, because our top guys aren't just one or two guys. Our top guys, that's not even all of our top guys. But the truth of the matter is, we can't go. I don't believe in lazy booking, and I might ruffle the feathers and piss some people off, but I'm not going to go throw together a battle royal to figure out who my number one contender is and pick two guys to have a match. No, I want to see the top guys are going to be put on a stage, 10 of them, and they get to perform in front of everybody. And you're not just seeing PJ Savage or Joey Conway. You're going to see the Greek god Papadon with his 25 years experience. You're going to see the young blood, no pun intended, young glory, Brando Lee. You're going to see Blood Diamond. You're going to see Ellis Taylor. You're going to see the youth, Sal Savelli. But then you have guys like a Hamlet, and you have guys that have been around, Chris Cage. Yeah. There's so much diversity, and it gives them all the ability to perform. It gives a showcase for that much talent to be out there.
I've been in.
No pressure. No pressure. Holy shit. I wouldn't want to be a part of the 10 man because of the pressure.
Now, out of all those guys, I've been in the ring with all those guys, all 10 of them, under teaching, student, except Ellis. Ellis and who was in there? PJ. I've been in the ring with all of them, even with PJ. Chris Cage, to me, he's my pick. You know why? Because I trained him, retrained him from scratch. Like this guy and Mike Whiplash, are the closest thing to SAT in this style ever. The way they move is just like we used to move. It's incredible. So I'm going for my man Cage. I don't know. Skills, who you got?
That's a good one, bro. Well, you know, my main two guys are up there, and that's PJ Savage and Face.
Yeah, I know.
So,
that's a tug right there. That's a tug.
Yeah. I don't know. Listen. Out of all these guys, the most experienced guys are Cage and Papadon.
Yeah.
And listen, even a guy like Dickie Rods has been around for 20 years.
And Dickie Rods, that's right. And Dickie Rods has been around. So that's three guys.
Dickie Rods is a fucking OG.
And let's be honest, though. Look at the evolution of wrestling. Look at some of the top teams right now. Who are these top stars? Look at AEW. MJF, 25 years old. Look at Seth Rollins, maybe 30. This is a young man's game.
You can't sleep. You can't sleep. You're right, because
Brando Lee, Sal Savelli, Ellis Taylor, these guys are the youth. Joey Conway, despite what I think of him personally, has changed so much about his own personality, his own approach to wrestling. I've watched that kid for the last 5 or 6 years, and he is not even a shell of who he used to be. He has evolved into one of the top talents on the indie scene totally. So, but again, I'm old school. I go experience-wise. So for me, I look at a guy like Papadon and think, I don't know how you can outwork or mentally in psychology beat him in a match like this.
Yeah, that's true.
Because
that is true. You're saying many things.
It's not the first type of match.
But then you put like, it's just so wicked because it's 10 different styles. And you have like unpredictable people like Face and Hamlet, who God knows what the hell he's gonna do.
And when those two collide,
This is sick. It's gonna be a sick match, man. You gotta be like, man, be there in person. If not,
buy your tickets now.
Listen.
Share this shit to everybody.
Where's Will? I want to ask Will who he thought was gonna win it.
Will went to go sell tickets outside. He's just taking his tickets to go to one door right now.
He's out there giving out
He's
flyers.
knocking on doors, selling tickets.
I think
That's
Skills
right.
gotta sell tickets too, right? Skills, right?
facts. It don't
Skills is
stop.
a hustler.
It don't stop.
Oh no, it's an elimination match.
Joel got
People get
eliminated.
Nah, he went to go get Will.
He went,
Ah!
he went to go give him more tickets.
It's an
Freaking A,
elimination
bro.
match, one by one. So my question is, how did you guys come up with who to put in this match? Because there's just so many good, talented people in this match, and there's so many good, talented people in Win. What was the decision like to put?
It was definitely a hard decision, but the reality of it is because I want to give the people the ability to genuinely believe who the best talent is. And, you know, perception is reality. And the best is really in the eye of the beholder. So what the best two skills might be different than what you find as the best. And like we just talked about, I might believe that the experience factor for being in this business for 25 years from a Papadon is the game changer. So I want to see that you have this old school ring general, anti-leg slap, you know, just beast in the ring that can still go. And then you're going to put him in the ring with a kid like Brando Lee. But it's not just that one clash. Then we have a total maniac in Face. So there's that diversity. And then you take a Dickie Rods who has that experience but the power. And then you take the psychological warfare of a Joey Conway. And then you throw that in with the savage nature of PJ Savage. This thing can go any which way. And I truly believe that is how you find out who the best really is. Because at the end of the night, there is no question that this is who the best truly is. Because it's not one. This isn't old school versus new school. This is every version of wrestling and the best of who it is. There is nobody better at old school wrestling than Papadon. And there is nobody better in Win, let's call it strong style, than Face. And there's nobody better at the new generation than Ellis Taylor and Brando Lee and Sal Savelli. You know, and I wasn't going to just put one guy in there and have that disadvantage. So, yeah, there's young guys. There's three really, really young guys that are going to kill it. But then there's also three guys that have been around this business for a long time in Dickie Rods, in Papadon and these guys. And then you have the Brooklyn and the Queens influence of SAT and your Chris Cages and your PJ Savages. So I think genuinely it is to pick the most diverse guys we had with the win-loss record that they had. They all went out there and performed and killed it on the 31st. So having those guys in there, it was a no-brainer that PJ Savage, Hamlet, and Joey Conway in that main event on March 31st, they absolutely deserve to be in that match. Yeah. And it's just the most diverse guys we can, because at the end of the night on June 16th, there can be no question that whoever walks out with that title is the absolute best. And I'll say it right now, not just the best in Win, but the best in this indie circuit, because I don't see any other champions doing whatever this champion has to do.
Definitely not. And Win has something special with it too. I mean, you guys are building up your podcast as well, which I don't think any other independent promotion is doing right now.
Well, they're about
one more thing to add.
They see what we're doing, and that's what they get. That's where they're going to do it from.
They're going to do it 100%. And to add to Paul, and to add to your question, Geek, the 10 wrestlers that got picked for the World Championship crown picked themselves because they just stood out. I believe they stood out on their own. And Paul already gave them all the platform, and like, these guys can go. And that's it. That's where that goes, man. The best of the best of the best. No one is the same. That's what's crazy. Not one guy is the same. Not one guy has the same style.
Yeah.
Everyone's different.
It's insane. Look at it. Look at the wrestlers that are in that match. Not one guy is the same.
And I think it says a lot to where the direction that Win will go. Depending on who walks out with that belt, will be the direction. Let's say Papadon wins that match. Well, you're gonna have a representative that is this old school anti-leg slap. But what if it's one of the young guys? Now it's gonna be, car crash Spot Monkey City. And SAT would be thrilled because you have young high-flying maniacs. Which way would you go? I have no idea.
I love it. It's true.
That's awesome. That's
No
I
lies
couldn't explain it
detected.
better. Yeah, he said it.
Listen, if Chris Cage wins this thing, it's going to be a lifetime of promos because that guy can talk.
Yeah.
Papa Dank.
Dank's
Dank
got
said
PJ Savage.
Oh
Let's
shit!
go.
Nice.
That's my
Yeah,
boy.
bro.
Papa Dank. That's my
That's
pick.
another dude, bro.
Him in face.
Come on. If Savage becomes the first ever. Listen, again, this is history that you're going to wish you were part of. The first ever.
Gotta be there.
Wrestling is now world champion, crowned for the very first time. I'm saying it again. Get your tickets. Tell your friends. Bring your family members. Bring everyone you know that loves wrestling because they are not going to miss this. This is one of the greatest events to put. Listen, the scale just keeps getting higher and higher. I'm telling you now. The measurement stick doesn't stop. It's infinity with Paul Loria. Listen, this guy puts on his cloak, his and just goes into the lab and starts cooking shit up, and things happen. Things happen. I'm
bro.
telling you now. You're gonna want to. I'm tired of telling people the same shit. We've told them all the time. Watch, and then oh my god, that was so awesome. Yeah, well, you missed it. Now you get to see it on television
On
or
Twitter.
YouTube. But you weren't there live. There's nothing like it. There's nothing like it.
Yeah.
You gotta go
And
live.
I don't think it should be lost on anybody. And we've said this. I wrote it on the Facebook page, and I think we've talked about it in the past. But it should not be lost on anybody, and everybody should know that March 31st, the big fight. That match was originally scheduled as a 4-way, that the main event that Chavo Guerrero was supposed to be in, and Chavo couldn't do it due to contractual obligations for WrestleMania weekend. And we had a meeting about that and made a conscious decision not to replace Chavo. And it was a gutsy move. It was probably a ballsy move to say. And a lot of people are thinking, like, what are you guys thinking? Like, what would possibly possess you? And again, I'll full disclosure, it'll be a shoot. I was on the phone with Mikey Whipwreck, and he flat out said to me, he's like, are you out of your mind? You're going into WrestleMania weekend against a Ring of Honor pay-per-view, against a GCW event on the other, wherever that was, and you're not going to put a name on the card. And no, absolutely not. And because I truly believe in that locker room. And I think that locker room, when they realized that, took that upon themselves to show the world why they were capable. And the result of it was what? A sellout, and we broke the venue record for the building.
Sellout and venue record. Insanity. First
Without
show.
a name on WrestleMania weekend. So it's that mindset, and that's the belief that this team has in our roster. And it's because of that we want to approach each one of these shows with that same mindset. How we look at talent is the same way. It has to be above and beyond. Everybody there is great. There's so many talented wrestlers, but we need more than talented wrestlers. And same thing. We're gonna do it on July 29th, the Maximo Legacy Tag Team Tournament. We're gonna introduce these belts right here.
Oh my god!
Oh man,
man.
man.
Hey, put it on the
Can we
screen.
zoom in on those belts right now?
Yeah, put it on the
Please,
screen,
man.
Paul.
Let's see if I could zoom on those belts right now.
Oh my god, it's so gorgeous. Sorry,
Wow.
Those belts are beautiful, by the way.
Wow.
damn. Oh well.
Let's not forget.
Shout out to Joe Arruda. Yeah, that's for
Joe
Trent
Arruda.
Acid.
That's for Trent Acid.
That's for Trent Acid.
And the
then
other one we have is for Jay Briscoe, rest in peace.
And the other one's JB.
But the reality of it is, once again, we're taking, I guess, what some on the indie scene would say is a risk. We're dedicating an entire show to a tag team tournament. It's not about our entire roster. It's about establishing the tag teams. It's about giving them the due respect that these guys all deserve. I don't want to just say, oh, these two really cool teams are in the finals of some make-believe tournament, or I don't want to drag it out for months on end. I want these guys, 8 of the best tag teams, are going to spend one night and they're going to compete. And at the end of the night, we're going to have the first ever Wrestling Is Now Tag Team Champions. And that's going to happen on July 29th. And I guess we should break a little bit of news, should we?
Uh-oh.
Yes,
Go
sir.
ahead.
Breaking news. Here we
The
go.
First tag team. Go ahead, Paul.
First tag team that we're inviting to be part of the Maximo Legacy Tag Team Tournament will be Tommy and JP Grayson.
Oh,
The
shit.
new
Wow.
They're the first.
Wow.
Holy shit, that's a good call.
Breaking news right there, man. That's amazing, you know?
A new Batsies, baby. That's
First-
amazing, man.
New. I can't wait. I can't wait to be in the ring because we see them perform and we see them do their thing. And it reminds us a lot of the Backseats, believe it or not. It's insane. The shit they're doing. I'm like, wow. Because those are big shoes to fill, right, Paul? I mean, those are two of the legends in the world. The Backseat Boys, two of the best guys in the business, period. Some of the smartest and capable wrestlers we've ever had the privilege of knowing and wrestling dozens and dozens of times.
And mentoring. Those boys took us under the wing and they didn't have
Under the wing right away into
Right
the
away.
independent. They were already doing it when we first broke into the independent scene. Once we branched out from HWA and started doing other independents and started going, they were the first guys with open arms, man, to embrace us and show us love and, you know, show us how the ropes are out there, and got a lot of respect for Johnny Cashmere and Trent Acid, rest his soul. But I'm not gonna have any respect for the Graysons,
into the earning, baby.
right? That's the thing. I respect what you're doing. I respect the balls you have to try to get in there with us and beat the Maximos, the family legacy. But I will show you no respect until you earn it. I'm telling you right now. If you're watching, just understand that it's not going to be the same teams you saw on tape or you think you studied. It's always different. Hail Marys all day. We're the Tom Brady's of this shit.
We are.
And listen,
We fucking are, man.
Geek,
It's the
listen,
truth.
man, just in case anybody else on the roster is watching and everybody's thinking to themselves, well, that's okay. So you're dedicating a whole show to the tag team tournament. Just understand that 2 weeks after that, on August 11th, we are going to be back in Richfield Park, New Jersey at the Mecca with a full roster lineup doing a show.
Let's go, baby!
Breaking news.
So-
Breaking news. There we go.
So, yeah, we're going to have a tag team tournament, and 2 weeks later, we'll have a full roster show where those tag team titles will be defended, along with our world champion having a defense.
Man, I'm excited for
Amazing.
August 11th.
See, Paul's putting
So
these
new-
guys to the
New
strainer
faces,
now.
right? New faces.
Let's take a look at the championship.
Oh, wait, you got it? Oh, there it is.
Wait, oh my
There
God.
it
Let's
That
zoom
goes
in
down
on it.
Fuck,
Friday. It's like Darth
Good
Vader
there.
coming out the door.
Right there.
That championship, man. That's probably one of the most beautiful belts right there. You know?
That-
It's gorgeous. I'm sorry, it is. It's a great creation. Thank you, Paul. And thank you, Joel Ruda.
Yeah, shout out to Joel Ruda. Ruda
Joel
Entertainment,
Ruda's the
making the
man.
best belts in town.
Yo, man.
June
so-
16th, baby.
Man, we
Somebody's
got a
gonna
whole-
win
we got-
this beauty right
We
here.
got an amazing
Look
freaking
at the
team, man.
detail on the leather, bro. Oh my God. The
Yeah, it's really sick.
gemstones. This is real deal. It is.
It is.
Gorgeous. We got also Ryan Peterson in the chat. He wanted to shout out to you guys.
What's
saying,
up, Peterson?
guys?
See you next
What's up,
week, baby.
guys?
Bring your
Looking
suit,
forward.
Peterson. Bring your suit and get your mic ready.
Let's go. It's time
Thanks.
to work.
Let's go, Geek.
Thanks.
Hit me
I'll
with
leave it
another
on the
one.
shoulder till we finish.
What?
Hit us with another one. Question.
This one, another one. I got some breaking news also. I'm gonna be on Going for the Win this Friday at 6:30. So there you go.
That's
Very
hot.
nice.
I love
yeah,
that.
so we're gonna be collaborating. So this Friday. So
And that's
That's
you know,
what's
that's a testament to you, Geek, because just like what we're doing with Win, it's very cool that you've done this with Beyond the Barricade with Papa Dank. You're doing it with Going for the Win with Rex and Pun. The fact that you guys are becoming more of a community as part of the Win family, part of the Win social media tour. It just goes to show that, again, that team environment, that even you guys as podcasters are working together. You're all lifting each other up. Tantalizing Tony was talking about wanting to collaborate with you also. So,
That's awesome.
you know, instead of everybody starting to compete with each other and try to drag each other down, everybody's elevating each other and lifting each other up. And that's what Win's all about, man. We do it in our locker room. We're doing it with the social media tour. And it's really cool that you guys are going to collaborate like that. And we're lucky to have you guys.
Sooner or later, when things get really real down the road, and we achieve our goals, and Win becomes the monster that we believe it's going to become, you're going to have your spot, Metal Geek. You know that.
Mhm.
You'll be a part of that. You'll be a part of that. You're already a part of the family, man. Thank you.
I appreciate it. I mean, I appreciate you guys so much. You have no idea, man. No idea. Because I'm somebody.
We appreciate you. We could come on
no
here
idea,
and talk all the shit we want.
It's like someone so new to the podcast game, and you guys picked me as one of the new podcasts to be on your tour, and I'm just so blessed for you guys. You have no idea. So.
Nah, bro.
Because
we
you're
see-
raw. You're raw. You're not compromised media. You know, you give it how it is. Straight raw dog. Just like the SAT. Raw
That's
dog.
right. That's right, baby. That's why they hate us out there.
Yeah, Geek, they're going to hate you soon because you're with us, man.
I think I'm already hated, but it's okay.
It comes with the
Uh,
territory, but that's a good
It's
thing.
all right.
Good thing because
I'm already hated.
you're making noise.
I'm making noise, but I'm already hated, but it's all right. So
What's the next one? What do you got?
So no, I was just gonna finish it off. Actually, where could people find you guys exactly if they want to find you?
Friday, June 16th at the Mecca.
Yeah,
Come down. Find us
Litchfield
there.
Park,
We
106
right
Berg. What is it?
106
Bergen
106
Ave.
Bergen Avenue, Richfield
Yeah.
Park,
All
New
over
Jersey.
Facebook.
there. The Knights of Columbus.
Go to
8
Wrestling
o'clock.
is now on Facebook.
Yes,
Well,
we have
wrestling
QR
is now-
codes, tickets. Yep, we have everything there.
Everything. Also, you're gonna find the barcode. The wrestling is now QR code. Sorry, excuse me. The QR code is all over our social medias, all over our platforms. You can find mine at Real Jose Maximo on every platform, from Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, even freaking YouTube and Twitch. We on it all. Also, you can find it on that bar. Yes, and that QR code right there. You scan it, all the social medias will pop up. Wrestling is now. It's on Facebook. It's on Twitter. It's on Instagram. So you can find us in every platform and on YouTube as well. Go to the YouTube channel, YouTube page. We have it all. So you can find us there on all social medias. Paul Laurie on Instagram, Twitter, as well. You can find him there. Yeah, we're all over the social medias, man. Just, you know, the QR code is the key. I actually have it as a profile picture.
And to pick back up what you just said, the QR code also directly links you to Eventbrite for our tickets for any events. Once we post our events up, you'll always have access to tickets through that same QR code.
Follow the
Hey,
journey, man. You'll be
hey.
part of the ride. It'll be easy. Click, click, click. One of
And now
those-
watch
Save
this,
the
Geek.
code.
All the other promotions are going to start using QR codes with their logo right in the middle, just like we did.
I'm already using it. I'm already
See,
using
that's
it.
what I'm
That's
I already
right.
saw
Look,
it.
guys. Look at
Well,
that. Look at
that's
that.
right.
Changing the game, one promotion at a time.
Nice. Look
There
at
you
that.
Hey, yo, listen, whoever becomes the champion, whoever is going to become the face of Win, get prepared, because I got a whole lot of friends that want to come in. One of them hit me up. We spoke a little earlier today. His name is Jonathan Gresham. He's probably one of the best wrestlers in the planet. He wants to come in and he wants to face whoever the champion is. I got to talk to Paul about it because that's pretty
Wow,
cool.
this is breaking news in front of the world, Joel. Thank
Oh
you.
my God. Let's go. Here we go.
So
Oh,
they're-
I
so boys,
also
get
have
ready.
a friend that just
Yeah.
hit me up.
Who's that? Who's that? Who?
He has a tag team partner. He wants to face the tag team champions down the line. They go by the name of 5150.
Ooh, yeah, all right, that's right. That's right. That's
See,
right.
this is all live. I don't even know about this stuff.
It's all live. Anything happens when it's live, man.
Yeah.
Anything.
Because now what's
But-
going to happen is now I got to text these guys and say, how much is this going to cost us? And then I got to send that over to Skills. And Skills going to be like, what? And then you're all going to write back and say, book it. Let's go.
That's right.
Listen, this
Here's-
is
all right,
the
now-
scenarios.
now-
This is scenarios.
Here's my
Even
final
like
question.
even Chavo Guerrero, I'm sorry, he's part of the SAT as well. Extended family.
Definitely.
You never know when people are just gonna pop in, man. So you might as well pop in to see who's gonna pop in.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, because
here's
you
my
might know
final
the
question.
card, but what's gonna happen that night? The card.
We don't even
doesn't say
know.
it.
Joel
Yeah.
literally just told we're 7 days away from the show. He was like, Paul, can you send me the card, please?
And I can promise you right now that you don't know yet.
Yeah.
No, I don't. You know, I wanted the card because we're doing something special for the show. We're doing some sort of what are they
A
called?
fundraiser.
Like a program. Like
Oh.
instead of a program, we got a surprise. Me and Jose are working on it. It's gonna be fucking amazing. Yeah, man, we're changing it up.
Yeah,
Gotta
that's
be
another
there.
thing too. What
Gotta
Jose
be
just
there.
said, just so everybody knows that we, Win as a company, has decided that we're going to donate a portion of the proceeds to Angela's house.
Yes.
Orlando from 94.3 The Shark. He's always been helpful. He's a super fan. He's been helping us out with stuff. He's having what's called the birthday bash on June 17th. And all the proceeds from that benefit, he's done it for like the last 5 or 6 years, and it's always a huge hit here on Long Island. And all his money goes towards Angela's house to help medically fragile children. So Win wanted to be part of that, and we wanted to donate a portion of the proceeds from June 16th to that event because that's something really important to us as well. So that's a really another reason why people should go and get these tickets for this event, because you're going to be helping out young kids, medically fragile children and their families, help pay for medical expenses and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I love that.
My final question now is, I talked about this earlier before we went on the air. I'm going to talk about it with Paul now. When are we going to get SAT versus the Bookers?
You know, there's a lot of history there, right? And listen, truth be told, I'm part of that history myself, because what a lot of people don't know is that if you go back in the history books and you were to ask Amazing Red what the first world title he ever won was, it was the HWA world title. So this goes back 25 years. So there might be some favors that are owed, and Brian Excel was there as well. So
He was. Everybody was there.
and listen, in all honesty, the truth of the matter is that House of Glory is a great company. I love what those guys do. But the reality of it is, as much as I would love something like that, and I would do it in a heartbeat if these guys were interested in doing something like that. Right now, the focus for us, honestly, is to build up our roster. Red and Brian are established names, and I love those guys. And there's so much room. Same as Jonathan Gresham. Same as 5150. I love all of it. But the truth of the matter is, right now, those guys you see on that card, that's priority one. Those are the guys that are gonna run this show. And never say never. But listen, this ride's just starting. We've got dates booked we haven't even announced yet. We got shows coming up. We got surprises left and right. We've got other things like trios championships to discuss in the future. So there's a lot of room to grow.
Let me
just started now.
Now, if Paul was to ever book that match, we'll drop those motherfuckers.
That's a soundbite. You might want to take that one little clip. Wait, Joel, who exactly would you drop? I just want to make sure we got that clear.
The Bookers.
Okay. Bookers versus SAT. I don't know, maybe we can make it happen.
I don't know. They invaded the house that we're running every now and then. They stole the belts from GCW.
What I want to know is this. In the HWA, when the regulators were running things and I was the head booker as the heel and the performer, I wonder where they got that influence to do the bookers from.
Right.
Yeah.
Maybe Red or Brian can answer that question for me. I love those guys. I do. I love them to death. But hey, listen, I'm open because, like we said, just like the podcast and everything else, I would love to collaborate with some other companies. And there are other companies out there reaching out to us that want to work together. But right now, we're talking about June 16th, Sunset Flip. Win inaugural heavyweight champion will be crowned. July 29th, Win tag team champions will be crowned. And once we get our champions in place, then we'll start discussing who's defending what.
Gotcha.
That's it.
And that was it, man. I want to thank you guys so much for taking
Thank you,
the time
brother.
out. You guys
for
are
having us.
awesome,
No,
Thank you.
Geek.
You're awesome, bro.
And if you
Yeah,
haven't
we'll-
bought your tickets yet, go to every social media website. I have it in my linked in my bio, as
Me
well
too.
as everyone here on the platform does. On the Wrestling Is Now on Facebook. On the QR code, you can find the show for Eventbrite.com, and we do have tickets for sale live if you show up at the door. So either way, come enjoy yourselves.
Next,
Part of history.
Well, hello. One more thing. Next Friday, we're gonna see the first ever Wrestling Is Now champion. Show the belt one more time, Skills.
All
Look
right,
at
let's see if we can get it. Let's get a shot at
Somebody's
that.
gonna be going home with that baby. Holy cow, that's gonna be amazing,
nice-
bro. I'm
nice
so
belt, by
excited,
the
Paul.
way.
This is great, man. Thank you, boys. Seriously.
That
Thank
was
you so
awesome,
much, man.
guys.
We'll
Thanks
see
for
you
having us
guys.
again, Geek
Thank
Man.
you, Geek.
Yo, Geek,
Sorry we
yo,
took
yo,
over.
sir.
That's what happens when you
That's
put
all
me
right.
on
It's okay.
in the
It's
same
an
room.
SAT interview. It's what it is.
We'll
We'll
do
do
it
it again.
again.
We'll do it. How about this, Geek? We'll set it up. We'll do it again after the 16th, but after that, we'll bring on our champion as well.
Oh, by the way, look at the
Ooh.
backdrop.
Oh man.
Sunset flip, bitches.
Let's get it.
That's what I'm talking about, baby.